So after 10 years in the CDC system, I walked out that gate with $200. When you leave the system, they give you what's called gate money. They give you $200 to get your ass on the bus and get you where you need to go. That's it. So after 10 years, you just got to figure it out. You get $200. What I did with my $200 is I bought a gym membership and a pair of Chucks. I didn't have a plan B. I'm always saying, fuck a plan B, run with your plan A. If you have a plan B, that just shows lack of confidence in your plan A. Don't ever have a lack of confidence. Never second guess your vision. My vision has been the same for the last 10 years, and that is to pass on what works for me in all the three main areas: mind, body, and soul. When we work on ourselves in these three main areas, mentally, physically, and spiritually, this is our process. This is what works for us in life. So I figured I'd have to get out and pass this on. What I didn't show you for the first 2 years is how I lived as a 35-year-old man, 35, on a twin bed in the corner of the same room as my parents. Now, most people, when they started to become somewhat successful, they would have fucking made the mistake of moving out too early. I was still living on this twin bed in the room with my parents when I was making 6 figures monthly. I lived like this for a couple months, a good 4 months, before I even made any moves, just so I could get far enough ahead. Most people would have been straight at the club. They would have went straight to buying shit that they couldn't afford, and they would have burned themselves in the process. The thing is never try to outwork a poor diet. Never try to out-earn poor spending habits. Sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice. Get yourself ahead. Get yourself where you need to be. I've got myself so far ahead to where now everything for my corporation is a write-off. It works for me. I don't buy stuff that isn't an expense for my corporation. So now I'm living off of my company's means that would actually have gone to Uncle Sam in the process. So most of everything I'm saving is profit. I'm learning this as I go, but I own an S Corp called Watson Fit, and this is what my grand vision was. But what I never did was put a cap on my vision. I never truly visualized too much of it. I only visualized my day-to-day life. So my day-to-day life being as stacked with variables as possible towards my goal, never putting a cap on it like, oh, I want this penthouse, I'm going to live here, I'm going to do this. I don't really do that. I just put all my effort into the principles that are going to attain my grand vision, and never truly putting that cap on it, because it can go as far as you want it to go. As far as you believe it's going to go is how far you can take your vision. I told books, I've talked about books before. The youngster that I did time with that was super smart, when we were busted, he had no money. He had no money. And I told him, if you're so smart, which I know you are, you have to find a way to take care of yourself. You can't just walk around spitting all this profound wisdom and have no fucking dollars in your pocket. So what you speak has to produce the results you're after. It wasn't 2 weeks that this kid opened up a store in the prison and started fucking making money like you've never seen. He started making $100 a week, which isn't a lot in the penitentiary, but for him it was. Now he was self-sufficient. Off just that little amount of friction I gave him, I was able to push him forward. This was penitentiary business coaching. We've been doing it since day one because what? Because wisdom is truly seeing the miraculous in the common, seeing someone at their highest potential when they don't truly see it. And I have that gift. And I love it because to me, this stuff doesn't do shit for me. I do show a new car online. I do show a new place. I'm no longer living on that twin bed in the room with my parents. But it's all the same drive. I would have been happy just being swole and being tatted and walking down the beach and passing off wisdom to random people as I passed by them, or just people in my life. I was happy like that. Even if that was how my vision ended, I was fucking cool with that because that's what I've been doing forever. Just to have my basic needs met and be able to pass on the wisdom, to share what I've learned, to continually progress in my process was enough for me. And the point is, is when you're happy with so little, that's the only way you're going to be happy with a lot. So, I mean, if you're not happy with nothing, you're not going to be happy with everything. The point is I continually make the mistake of trying to make myself happy with these material possessions and this stuff, but it doesn't work for me. It never has. Once we learn this, we'll be able to get past these blocks we put in our life when we're thinking, oh, well, I'll be happy when all the bills are paid, and I'll start seeking my fitness endeavors when it's a better time for me. There is no perfect time. There is no better time. God, the universe, whoever is your religious denomination, whatever it is, will never supply you with a vision or a goal or a dream that fits your time frame or fits your pocketbook. The only perfect time is fucking now. The best way to fucking live is to live perfect days. Everything that truly is under your control, you should do perfectly. If it's not under your control, you pass by, you put the energy in what is under your control, which is a lot of shit in this life. If you don't think you have choices just because they're hard choices, then you're mistaken, because most of the choices that are going to push you forward in life and propel you to where you want to be are the hardest choices. The hardest tasks are what make the motherfucker. So now, as a CEO of my own corporation, fresh out of prison, less than 2 years, making 6 figures monthly off of a dream, off of pure imagination, I'm just here to share with you guys that it's all possible. There's room for everybody. Everybody said that online training and the internet and all this stuff was the most flooded of markets. They were too saturated. Everybody's doing it. Well, guess what? I'm not everybody, and nor are you. The point is when you think under the law of abundance, when you just believe that it's truly coming your way, it will. And everyone always preaches this type of shit. But who better than someone who just came from nothing to something so quickly off of just pure imagination? No fucking missteps were taken, because that's the biggest problem I see. What if you never took no more back steps? What if you just worked solely towards your goals in a conscious, congruent manner and fucking punked yourself, called yourself a bitch every time you stepped off your diet, stepped away from your goals, missed a part of your plan, every time you didn't execute when you knew this was the way that it's going to work? It's so fucking easy, because so few people are committed that when you put your heart into anything that you choose to pursue, you're going to get it for sure. Because so many people are missing the fact that it's all heart. It's all commitment that's going to get you there. I wish this for you guys so much. Don't listen to them if they say it's saturated. Don't listen to them when they don't believe you. In all reality, the way people perceive you, their perception of you is a reflection of them. So anybody who's telling you that you can't pull it off, that just shows you who they are. If you came up to me and you started telling me your plan, I would stop you mid-sentence when you start to tell me, like, it's going to work, just pursue it. Put the work in and it'll work, because everything works. A pet rock made millions back in the day. And is it about money? No. It's about finding a business. It's about finding something that you can put your life into, that you can love the work. You can grow during this process mentally, physically, and spiritually, and help others in the process. So my business is very rare. I'm doing all that. I'm winning financially. I'm helping other people mentally, physically, and spiritually, and growing myself. So this is why I'm so proud of it. And I wish other people to just push this knowledge. Just push everything that's working for you. Don't be biased of who I am or where I've been or who you are or where you're going. Just honestly share that, hey, I was thinking this way. I was having a bad day, and I put this gem in my head that life happens for me. So every time something bad happened, I had a correct positive solution. This is how we work. That positive mind is going to win every fucking time. Do I get negative? Obviously. I've shared it a lot. I'm one of the most negative people. But the point is to be able to flip that into a positive. Now, how proud are you automatically of yourself? There is no lying to self. When you know that you were in a massive negative state, when you know you were this close to giving up and you didn't, that's what's going to make you most proud. So whatever the fuck it is, Go through that shit like a G. And like I said before, G don't mean gangster. G means grateful. Let's get it.